Hello, good morning, or whatever time you're joining me. This is your reading for Thursday, March 6th. And as always, 3 cards for how to best use the energy for today, the cosmic forces of love. Love, power, and peace. Right there. Ooh, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. First thing in the morning. That's excellent. Okay, and then we have the Knight of Wands reversed. That's okay. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles straight up. That's also really good. So, with the theme for the day in the center here with the Knight of Wands, it's just not really a big old go for it. It's the only trouble with this card, if you want to call it trouble, is just to be careful for scattered energy. Be patient with frustrations and delays. And my main thing when I see this is like, oh, okay, shift happens, I guess is a way to say it, and don't take things personally, and keep your eye focused or keep your energy focused on the big picture. Because when he's straight up, he's like, the horse is rearing to go. He's like, and you just go for it and you don't think. When it's reversed, it's good to think. It's good to see the big picture, and it's good to plan ahead. Especially when we have the Wheel of Fortune, because hallmarks of that card are all about making those changes within, coming from your own free will, knowing that you create your own destiny. Of course, we're born with certain tests and karmic patterns that need to be experienced and need to be gone through and processed through. But, and we all have, like checkout points, like some of us have opportunities to leave at a certain time and then those final dates of like, okay, for sure, this is what, because maybe we chose in our lifetime before we incarnated, we chose to only be on the planet for a certain amount of time because maybe we're going to meet up and party on with another family that we wanted to be with at a given time, because it always goes with the era and the time, when we incarnate, those years that we're on the planet. So there's a lot that we have to leave up to our higher selves and the mystery of life and just kind of let it go. But for the most part, this is our card of free will and, making those changes ourselves. It's a definite card of change. And we create our own reality. We create our own destiny based on our free will. So if we can focus on that and keep that in mind while we're focusing on the big picture, then we have true inner wealth with the Ten of Pentacles. This is our card for wealth. Inner creates the outer. If we have wealth on the inside, if we are so grateful for all of our little creature comforts and the fact that we have a roof over our head, and we might not have big houses, but we have everything that we need. If we focus on that, that grows. And that turns into your personal inheritance that you create day by day for yourself. This is where you establish yourself in life. It's also a card of retirement. So maybe a lot of you guys are thinking of retiring in the future, and or guys, I should say guys and gals. When we're focusing on retiring, we're definitely, we're seeing the big picture. These cards really do speak to me of, retirement. And, it might not be a good idea to just totally retire. Unless you're so wealthy, you're gonna have just so much you don't have to worry about it at all. Then you're gonna want to have hobbies, because it's definitely not healthy to not do anything and to retire and just I mean, you can do it for a couple years if you want. Lay around, watch TV, and see how that goes. You'll be bored. You'll be frustrated and bored. So, yeah. Okay, let's look at the astrology. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so you have it set for 5 a.m. as usual. Like I said yesterday, the moon was over here, and we did hook up with Jupiter. I have a feeling a lot of information came through. I'm having to do these readings because I have so many personal clients this week. I'm doing all of these readings on Monday. So here we are with Thursday, and I can't tell you what's happened on the news yet. So, we're going to just see how this goes, right? It's all a big experiment. But the moon on the other side of Jupiter tells me that there was a lot of energy in learning something new, getting information, talking things over, going back and forth. And now it's on the other side of Jupiter, and it's kind of like, whew. It might even be that we've gone through too much information, TMI, like it could have been a big old news dump, and we are working it through. The sun is getting closer and closer to Saturn, so things are getting more and more serious as to being on our spiritual path, but also being in bliss and harmony and happiness and compassion for each other. And Saturn is getting just as close to the North Node, so it's all the pattern, the way we're headed, we're all going towards being on our path, being on our spiritual path and laying that foundation. And if people aren't headed in that direction, they're going to be very unhappy because we're all hardwired for happiness and love and positive pleasure and creating our own reality. And if we're feeling victimized and thrown around, we're not going to be happy. So this is the time to hone in, get yourself in that place of strength, of inner strength. It's good for all this Piscean energy. The Saturn in Pisces especially is really good for doing our shadow work, which is really just looking at your false beliefs about yourself. It's really good for gathering strength and maturing our souls and finding our right livelihood, like it says on Marcia Sinitar's book, Discovering Your Right Livelihood. So if you take money out of the equation, what would you do for free? Right? And the money will follow anyway. Unless you decide, unless you decide to just do it for free. That would be very fulfilling if you can. So, but also, Saturn is the ruler of discipline, duty, resilience, being really practical, testing things out, healthy boundaries. It is the planet that rules our careers and, our ambition. It's a very karmic planet. It's like law and order, all that stuff. And you can see how that now that it's moved past that 20-degree mark, we're now in that opposition orb with the past, with the south node of the past, and gathering the facts, getting the facts. So that's that's quite a bit to have Saturn and Neptune, and they will come together. When is July, the end of July, they'll come together. So it's tightening up, and it's going to be all about getting the facts from the past. I imagine because that's so far off, we'll probably be about in the 24-degree range in here, I'm guessing, 24, 23. We'll see. But anyway, that doesn't matter for now. For now, just know that we're headed towards mastery in the spiritual realms, mastery over being gaslit, victimized, and, abused. So we don't let that happen when we have strong, healthy boundaries. We're not victims. we're going to go through some tough times. We always, that's part of being human. We all go through tough times. But Saturn is about taking self-responsibility for creating your new reality, or creating your day-to-day reality. So you just keep showing up and doing the best you can, but don't let anybody push you around. Don't let them tell you how to spend your money. Shop the way you want, because our money is our power. When it comes to the tech bros. And we're all headed towards a whole lot of independence with all this Aries energy here. So yeah. And with, Venus retrograde, moving towards Mercury, and Mercury's moving ahead for a little bit until it goes retrograde. We're in the retrogradation, shadow right now, or the pre-shadow. So we're starting to feel the Mercury retrograde already. So you're going to want to know where 9 degrees of Aries is in your chart, because that area of your life will be the most affected by Mercury retrograde. But I don't tend to worry about it much. It happens 4 times, 3 to 3.5, 4 times a year, and lasts, 6-7 weeks in there. So there's a huge percentage of the population that is born with Mercury retrograde, and it's just more of an inward focus. We're going to be reevaluating what makes us feel free and independent. We will be talking and thinking a lot about what we value the most, and coming together in ways that we can help each other, forging alliances. And the only thing you might have to watch out for is just sometimes, people are they're just so darn competitive. They don't make good friends. It could be one of those problems. So, but other than that, throughout the day, the moon is going to continue on with its, let me go forward a little bit and see how many hours left we have. The moon, okay, so by 4 p.m. Pacific, the moon's at the last decan of the sign, which is deepening and blooming. So a lot of information, I think, is going to be out over the, Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday, I'm sure the moon will be over here in Cancer, and then we'll be intuitively filtering through all that information and figuring out, okay, what's happened, what has happened, what is the real truth, and or making it more useful so that it helps you, so it supports your safety and security. So, yeah, okay, well, that's all I have for today. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll talk more about this. I see that square there to the south node. I don't know. We won't have it early in the morning. I guess I should talk about it real quick. So later in the evening with the T-square of the moon, you're going to want to be careful about getting into arguments, because some people don't want to know the facts. Some people just want to go along with the cult type of mindset. And yeah, pick your battles. That's all I got to say. Okay. Take good care. Be back soon.